Western nations warn against visiting this place. The US even bans its officials from traveling here, citing terrorism and kidnappings. But after a 10-hour road trip from Nairobi, what I found was far from danger. Like my visit to Zimbabwe, it's clear that these warnings don't tell the full story. I've also came to realize that these travel warnings often mislead us and are driven by imperialist agendas. Welcome to Lamu, a stunning UNESCO World Heritage site filled with vibrant culture, incredible history, and some of the kindest people I've ever met. Let me show you what makes this place so special and uncover the truth about this hidden gem. One thing that makes Lamu Island special is the fact that cars are not allowed on the island. It's a UNESCO World Heritage site, and I decided to visit Lamu during the Lamu Cultural Festival. Our adventure started at Subira Guest House, a beautiful heritage treasure built in 1880 by Said bin Hamid Al Busaidi, the then governor of Lamu. The governor used to reside here together with his 4 wives, and this building is a living piece of Swahili history. Located right behind the iconic Lamu fort, its architecture is a perfect blend of Arab Swahili traditions, featuring stunning carved doors, spacious courtyards, and cool, airy interiors. I decided for Subira Guest House not just because of its stunning beauty, authenticity, and historical significance, but also because of its perfect location. From here, it was so easy to explore Lamu town and walk through the alleys surrounding Subira Guest House and the iconic Lamu fort, experiencing authentic local life and just having fun getting lost in those little alleys. After a long walk through the alleys of Lamu town, exploring the neighborhood, we decided to take it easy and catch a boat to Shela, where you will find the most beautiful beaches, and there we found these young boys jumping from the cliff, which reminded me on Zanzibar. Our first day in Lamu was simply perfect. It couldn't have been better. So many beautiful new experiences and impressions, and an amazing dinner. We had some freshly grilled lobster, and imagine we only paid $8 for this plate. I highly recommend trying their seafood. Hello, good morning. This is day number 2, and I want to give you a small tour through our beautiful hotel, Subira House, which is located right behind the fort. It's a historical building, a heritage building, and the room that we're staying in was the place where the 4 wives of the Sultan housed. So just let me start by giving you a little tour around the house, and it's just breathtakingly beautiful, fam. There is so much love for every single detail here. And I just love the fact that we are in the middle of Lamu Old Town, the UNESCO World Heritage site. And I just learned this morning that, of course, because it's a heritage site, that there are restrictions. You are not allowed to build a house higher than up to the 3rd floor to follow UNESCO's rule, and that has mainly to do with authenticity. So let me just show you around. It's just... I have no words, really. You feel like when you walk through the alleys, through the little balconies of this building, as if you're walking through hundreds of years of history. And what I love the most is that we are surrounded by local houses, so you really get to experience local life here. Today we decided to visit the exhibitions of the Lamu Culture Festival and the museums to learn more about the local culture, craftsmanship, art, and history of the island. And the first thing that blew my mind was this. Look at how this man is drilling the wood. Back in the days, the people of Lamu and on the Swahili coast didn't have a mechanic drill to build their furniture. So this was a great reminder of how much effort actually goes into building these beautiful Swahili furnitures, and that this tradition deserves to be more valued, respected, and preserved for future generations. It was so beautiful to see how proud the people of Lamu are of their cultural heritage. However, I also quickly noticed that while Lamu celebrates its Swahili cultural achievements, architecture, Islamic heritage, and the economic prosperity of its past, which are products of its maritime history, the legacy and the role of slavery on the island and in its economy is widely understated and overlooked in public discourse. And there is a tendency to downplay the history of slavery in public narratives, partly due to the sensitive nature of the topic and the lasting socio-economic divides it created. So we decided to visit the Lamu Museum with the hope to learn more about the slave trade, slavery, and its legacy in Lamu. However, unfortunately, our tour guides in the Lamu Museum and in the fort either denied the existence of slavery in Lamu or they downplayed it. And the only time that slaves or slavery were mentioned was on an information board in these museums about the Indian Ocean trade, and slaves were randomly listed next to other goods that Lamu exported, goods such as ivory, mangrove poles, and agricultural products. However, slavery was deeply intertwined with these other economic activities, as enslaved labor was often used to produce and transport these goods. Not even once it was mentioned how Lamu served as a transshipment point for enslaved people captured in the interior of East Africa. From Lamu, enslaved individuals were either sold to local Swahili households or transported to larger slave markets in Zanzibar, which was the primary hub for the Indian Ocean slave trade under Omani rule. The collective memory of slavery in Lamu today is complex, shaped by a mix of cultural pride, historical amnesia, and selective remembrance. However, there are subtle ways in which the memory of slavery is preserved and expressed. Cultural expressions such as poetry, music, and rituals occasionally reference themes of suffering, displacement, and resilience, which can be indirectly tied to the history of slavery. We spent the rest of the day in the guest house to soak up the good vibes there, process everything, and I took my time to do some more research about slavery in Lamu. Good morning. It's day 3 of the Cultural Lamu Festival, and I slept so good. It's 7 in the morning and the sun is already out. It's quite hot, but I just love this beautiful place that we are staying in, and I don't want to leave. It's so beautiful here. It gives beautiful shade. I really miss this place. I will miss Lamu, but today is going to be a fantastic day. We're going to see the donkey race. I cannot wait to witness this. I've never seen a place where donkeys are so loved like here in Lamu. And yeah, we're gonna see the finals of the dhow race. We are going to see the fish auction, and we're going to see the big party in the end, the final party. So I look forward to take you along. I'm gonna get ready now because I like to do the things in the early morning before it gets so hot. And so stay tuned.
Tunataka hali wa amani. Asante. Tunaomba ujue kila pahali huko kisha ndio inaanza. Asante. Sawa. Haya. Adamu. Haya. Haya. Shuka wenye punda tafadhali. Tuomba watoto wadogo tafadhali katikati. Sawa. Ingia. Wow. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Come and go.
Our last day in Lamu was slowly coming to an end, and as the sun set, I witnessed a side of this island that was as surprising as it was inspiring. The people of Lamu gathered in front of the iconic Lamu fort to celebrate music, life, and community. What struck me most was how inclusive and peaceful the event was. Families with young children filled the crowd, dancing and enjoying themselves, and not a single drop of alcohol was in sight. It was so beautiful to see how music could unite everyone, from the youngest to the oldest, in pure joy and celebration. This vibrant evening of modern Afrobeats stood in stark contrast to the more conservative, traditional Swahili culture we'd experienced earlier. Yet it showed the incredible duality of Lamu, an island deeply rooted in its heritage, but also embracing the rhythm of modern Africa. The vibe, the energy, and the sheer happiness of the people reminded me why Lamu is such a special place. It's not just about its rich history and breathtaking architecture. It's also about the people, their resilience, and their ability to celebrate life in the most harmonious and beautiful way. Subira House and Lamu as a whole also remind us why preserving history is so important. This isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to learn, reflect, and connect with the rich and complicated past. This trip was also a powerful reminder to challenge misleading travel warnings by Western nations and see Africa's beauty for ourselves.